welcome to the Servant Minded Leadership channel. My name is John. I'm happy to have you with me. I had an amazing conversation with somebody I'm working with recently, and this person said to me, they said, we expats have seen more of the U.S. than you citizens have. Now, this person is of German origin, and he brought up a very good point. The conversation went from there, but it got me to thinking about the point that he made. Why is it that so many people who come to the U.S., whether for work or for school or for some other reason, often in the few years that they are here, see more of the U.S. than those of us who have lived here our entire lives? Man, I've been here between 30 and 40 years now, and I have not seen Mount Rushmore. I have not been to New York City yet, which is kind of crazy to me that I somehow haven't made it there. I have not seen so many different things, and yet he has seen all of that. And why is that? Well, it's actually quite simple. It's not because they've got more time. It's actually because they have less. You see, when somebody comes over to the U.S., they're usually here on some form of visa, whether that's a work visa, a school visa, or something else. And in these cases, it's set for a limited amount of time. A limited amount of time. And because of that, they engage one of the most powerful tools that any leader could ever engage, and that is the discipline of intentionality. The discipline of intentionality. See, they've got 3 years. And so every weekend that they can get away, they're driving to somewhere to go see something because they've only got 3 years to get it all in. And to quote Smokey and the Bandits, they got a long way to go and a short time to get there. And on vacations, they're traveling further away and they're going and seeing in this particular case, he was working in New York, so they're going to see San Francisco, and they're going to see, Texas, and they're going to see Mount Rushmore, and they're going to see the Great Lakes, and they're going to see Disneyland and Disney World, and all these different things, and every weekend, and every vacation, and every opportunity is maximized because of limited time, resulting in amazing intentionality. Meanwhile, you got the rest of us that are all just kind of kicking back, like, yeah, I can do that later. I mean, eventually, someday, right? How many of you guys have the someday jar, okay? The jar where you throw your coins in there for someday. Maybe you're gonna need them someday. You're gonna go on vacation someday. You're gonna go do that thing someday. And someday never comes because there's no intentionality behind it. And so meanwhile, the person that's been here for a year and a half has seen more of the U.S. states than you and I combined, all right? They've gone to more of the places than we will probably ever go. Why? Because we're not being intentional. We don't have a plan, and they do. The leadership lesson here is so clear. We gotta be intentional. And I don't mean have good intentions. I mean be intentional. When my wife and I were first talking, kind of dating, we were so intentional, all right? We were having very detailed conversations, and I know that surprises you about me. I'm sure you expected these would be very fluffy and, non-philosophical at all, right? But no, we were having like very deep conversations from the first and second dates. And that intentionality allowed us to get married within, 6 to 9 months. And so because we had a game plan, because we had a focus, we had a future. As leaders, we need to be intentional. We need to have an actual framework. We need to have timelines. We need to have a specific objectives that are in place. We should not be existing. Now, here's the thing. You're thinking, John, I do. What kind of leader would I be if I hadn't given my people timelines and objectives and all stuff? No, nice one. Nice one. I'm talking about you. I'm talking about me. I need to be intentional with me. You need to be intentional with you. Now, talking about being intentional with our staff, that's important. I'm talking about with me and you. Leadership demands intentionality. I have a list, you can't see it, but it's on my whiteboard behind the camera. and I've got disciplines, all right? Disciplines in my life that I need to be intentional about so that I will be the best leader. And if you could see my whiteboard, maybe I'll take a picture of it and throw it in this video, but if you could see my whiteboard, it's got spiritual at the top, who I am above and beyond this. And then I've got two that I can't decide which one should go where. I've got mental right now in second place, and then I've got emotional, relational in third. I'm not really certain which one should be first, but they need to be there. And then a physical discipline, and then a transactional discipline, business-wise. And these are things that are important to me to develop, to grow in, to mature in, so that I as a person am being intentional, and then I can bring that gift to my team. Intentionality. The expats use it to travel across our great nation here in the US, and if you are outside of the US, it's gonna apply to you the same way. If I visit you, the chances are I'm gonna see more things in your country than I've seen in my own, because I'm gonna borrow that intentionality paradigm. I'm gonna go there and have a couple of weeks, and it's like, all right, in the 2 weeks we need to see this, and we need to do that, and we need to make that happen, and we need to force this into the equation. And then I come home and it's like, New York City will be there tomorrow. Intentionality. Leaders, that is how we become great. It's how we leave a great legacy. And although our goal should not be to make it about us and be great, at the same time, isn't that what we want? Don't we want to leave a great legacy? Thank you for joining us today. You're watching the Servant Minded Leadership channel, where we are empowering leaders to change the world.